Welcome back. Well, as I mentioned earlier, we have the Great Park here with us, and we have Craig Ream, who's going to tell us all about all the fascinating things that they've done over there and more things to come. Well, welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you. I want to tell you about my weekend foray. The Orange County Soccer Club, professional team that plays at the Orange County Great Park, hosted a viewing party on Sunday for the World Cup.
Oh, wonderful.
And about 1,000 people showed up, sat in the soccer stadium, looked at the big screen and watched France beat Croatia. And I will tell you, there are more French fans in Orange County than Croatians, but it was still a great game, and it was a great event, and it was a free event.
What a nice way to do that, right there in the heart of the city.
It is, and the Great Park being 1,300 acres, owned by the city, the fastest growing parkland development in the country. Those kinds of things are happening on a daily basis, and it's really becoming some wonderful synergy.
That's great. I mean, Irvine really is growing leaps and bounds, as you mentioned, not only with residential areas, but then with the Great Park, and then a variety of other exciting entertainment and things that are going on. So let's talk about, kind of give me an overview of the Great Park itself. Like, just really briefly, how did it get started, and what are some of the things that you have for the vision of it?
Well, I think going back in history, early 2000s, in Laguna Woods, voters being very much against an international airport, it was up for a vote. An international airport or a great park, and the voters went out, and it's developing into a great park, 1,300 acres. While the Great Park is and is going to continue being all things for all people, I mean, the viewing party was across the scale. I know that people that saw Pele play in real life were there, as well as the young kids who know him from the books. But it's shown tremendous growth in the past year, in particular because there's a 194-acre sports complex within the Great Park that is expanding. And here are some of the numbers. Last August, a 53-acre phase 1 of the Great Park opened. That's a soccer stadium with 6 other soccer lacrosse fields next to it, 25 tennis courts, 5 sand volleyball courts, and a children's playground. And now we're in the midst of phase 2, which is open or will open by the end of this year. That's another 130 acres. And that includes a mile-long Great Park Trails, which runs through the Bosque and the Upper B from Irvine Boulevard to the soccer stadium, a second children's play area, 6 artificial turf fields, 4 basketball courts, an 18-acre flex field that can be divided up for all sorts of reasons, concerts, playing fields.
Right. You know, we're looking at the map right now. Can you give me just kind of an overview here? Because what does Upper B mean?
So Upper B and Bosque are 2 designations of permanent open space, which is where the trails, the Great Park trails, are now being finalized. Irvine Boulevard to the sports park, which is the soccer stadium on the map there, that runs under streets and all that. It's a clear run, so you can run, walk, bike without being interrupted with traffic. So that's the trails thing. You can see agriculture and golf, future amenities of the Great Park, the sports park, which I'm talking about right now, phase 1, which is in place, phase 2, which is opening very, very quickly. The wildlife corridor is another part of the Great Park that will allow wildlife to go from the Cleveland National Forest through uninterrupted out to the coast. And the future cultural terrace, which I can talk to about in just a moment. The western sector has been open for a very long time. Those are playing fields. It includes 2 art galleries in there, an exhibition hangar, historic hangar 244 are there in the western sector. And I can talk about the community ice facility in just a moment as well.
I know that they had that up, so I wanted to make sure that we kind of addressed it. So it really is just an overview of what is potential.
Well, what is?
What is?
What is? What is?
What is becoming?
So let me just finish up real quickly
go right ahead.
on the phase 2. What is open or will be open by the end of this year? Upcoming 7 baseball fields that include a 1,000-seat baseball stadium, 5 softball fields that include a 500-seat stadium, and then elsewhere, because you have the sports park and you can see it here, and very close to this will be the community ice facility. So separate from the sports complex, but still within the Great Park. I tell you, the Great Park ice is a 270,000 square foot building, 4 sheets of ice being built by the Anaheim Ducks affiliate, $100 million, for ice skating, hockey, and figure skating. It will be iconic from the day it opens, and it opens by the end of this year.
Okay.
And it will be serving those in the public, serving tournaments, and occasionally serving the Anaheim Ducks who may come down for good marketing reasons and have a nice practice.
Right.
4 sheets of ice, the largest such facility in the state and one of the very largest in the country. And so all of this complements what's already in place at the Great Park. As I shared with you, the western sector, we have the Visitor Center, we have the Hangar 244 for meeting and exhibit space. It's also becoming, and has become really, a wonderful walking area. And I was walking it the other day after the viewing party for the World Cup, and it is an enormous stretch of land in which to walk, run, bike, whatever you want to do. And it includes our expanded timeline that runs from one end of the Great Park to the other. And it includes the Kaiser Thrive Path, which is a mile-long health and fitness path that features information by our sponsor, Kaiser Permanente.
Okay.
So it is a place to go to play. It is a place to go to reflect, let's say in an art gallery. It is a place to picnic under the shade of trees and picnic areas. Because what we're doing here is we're in the midst of a 688-acre public-private partnership with 5 Point, the developer,
Right.
which owns the private land surrounding the Great Park. And in return for entitlement of new housing villages, 5 Point is spending up to $250 million for what you're seeing here. And that's going to include a golf course, a wildlife corridor, and non-sports areas such as the urban agriculture.
Okay. Okay.
And when that's all done, the sports areas will be about 472 acres in all, which will be the 4th largest sports complex in the country.
Wow.
And that sports allows for vitality, synergy, and families.
Exactly.
I have spent so much time on practice fields, either as a coach or as a participant with my own children, and now look forward to do that at some point when I'm a grandfather. Not happening yet. And as you can see here, this is the Great Park Trails that will open this year. That runs from Irvine Boulevard to the soccer stadium, and they're the tennis courts now in play.
You guys have so many tennis courts.
We have 25, and they're the soccer fields attached to the soccer stadium, and we're swinging around, and there are the baseball fields and the
awesome.
baseball stadium and the softball stadium coming into play.
Now, can residents of Irvine use that facility free, or is it part of an association, or how does that work?
The playing fields are typically rented out by the city to anyone. I mean, we have high school teams, the professional Orange County Soccer Club team I mentioned that uses the soccer stadium as its home field. Lacrosse, tennis lessons, tennis teams, sand volleyball teams,
Right.
and we rent those out. But nominal fees, wonderful fields. My son, who played lacrosse everywhere in the country, said that the fields of the Great Park were the best he ever played on.
Nice.
And I know I'm doing a pitch, but it's also true.
And then for our residents, though, they can go over there and they can enjoy the playground and the trails and all sorts of things there.
They can, and there are so many areas in which to, grassy areas in which to just watch the children play, or go yourself with a loved one and picnic. Go inside the art galleries and see the latest art gallery show. Go to our Hangar 244 and see our historic planes that represent the planes that flew in and out of the base when it was El Toro.
Okay.
So there's a lot of history. A lot of veterans go there because many of them served there. It was one of the busiest bases from '43 in World War II through.
Right.
Through 1999, so
Right.
a lot of wars and a lot of memories there.
Right. And then also, of course, we always see the great big orange balloon from afar. Tell me a little bit about how that works and how someone might be able to go on that.
Well, you just walk into the visitor center, buy a ticket, and walk out and go straight up. It's a wonderful view, goes I think 400 feet up, and so you get a view not only of the great park but really of the whole surrounding area, and it reminds us why people move to Orange County. It is particularly on a clear day, it is a beautiful view from up there, and the balloon goes up most days, and tickets are nominal, and the experience is wonderful because there aren't a lot of balloons that you can go up on. And right next to that is a carousel, and so you see families going up on the balloon and then going over the carousel and then going to the grassy knoll next to the visitor center for a picnic. It really creates an entire day for the full spectrum of families and friends and loved ones.
Well, there certainly is so much to do, and like you said, there's so much land, there's so many different things to do, so you really could have a full day.
There is, and still to come, still to be planned and determined by the Irvine City Council is the cultural terrace, which is more than 200 acres undeveloped right now, but the Irvine City Council is contemplating future uses that include priority uses of a permanent amphitheater, a lake, museums, and a library. So you think of the cultural aspect that will be coming here in the next several years to the Orange County Great Park, and it really will be the place to be.
I think a lake would be great because, you know, you've got Lake Irvine, but maybe something that the kids, it might be a little easier for them being in a centralized location rather than having to go out to the Irvine Lake.
I will pass on your interests.
Well, I don't know. I just felt like there's not enough lakes around here to go fishing.
You and me, we're in the same.
We go on the golf course, but that just doesn't, you know, not the same because you're always worried about somebody kicking you off. Right. So, well, this is excellent. Good information. Now, if someone did want to know more about it or wanted to, you know, look at some of the pictures that we have here, where should they go? Website? Our
website, cityofirvine.org, and we have everything Great Park on that website.
Okay, great. Yeah, and we also could do, I think you could do a / Orange County Great Park, which also might, or you could call.
You can do that as well.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, and the 724-6247 would get them additional information if they couldn't find what they needed.
It would, yeah. We have really good people answering phones.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Really
I think even you answered the phone once too.
That's right.
All right, well, thank you so much. It was very nice to meet you, and thank you for all the great information.
Well, thank you.
All right.
For having me.
All right. Excellent information. So if you want to have a lovely day out, just go to the Great Park. It's probably 10 minutes away from here. So don't forget to check it out. We'll be right back after this.